What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A critical national security trial in Hong Kong has resumed, with pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai testifying for the first time after 4 years in detention. Tiffany Wong reports.
Dozens of supporters gather outside a Hong Kong courthouse on Wednesday, waiting to hear Jimmy Lai, a businessman and pro-democracy activist who faces a potential life sentence under Beijing-imposed national security law. The 76-year-old publisher of pro-democracy outlet Apple Daily took the stand for the first time in his trial, pleading not guilty to charges of conspiracy to collude with foreign forces and publishing seditious materials. The British national has been jailed since 2020, when the offices of his media company were raided by police and later shut down amid a crackdown on pro-democracy activity in the city. His plight has resonated with many of the city's residents.
黎山就代表我哋香港個精神啦。咁佢係即係嚟到香港之後咧，係好欣賞呢度嘅民主自由嘅風氣啊嘛。咁我作為一個香港人，都係同埋咁上下嘅即係比較後啲嘅年代啦，我都係感受到佢哋即係嗰個追求自由嗰個心啦。
佢如果佢唔係為咗香港，佢可以走嘅。 點解佢唔走咧？佢留喺度咧，咁咪俾人韞咗成千幾2000人咯，係咪啊？
Lai has denied the charge of publishing seditious materials and staunchly maintained his right to media freedom. He's been an outspoken critic of the Chinese Communist Party and the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre, which press freedom watchdogs say made him a target for the national security law.
The newspaper was one of the last mainstream media outlets openly critical to Beijing regime, and has become the leading media outlet to show the stories about what has happened in the territory. He emphasized that the newspaper upheld the core values of the rule of law, freedom of the speech, and hoped that the Hong Kong people would enjoy such freedoms by having more information via his media outlet.
6 of his senior staffers pled guilty in their trials, but Lai has remained steadfast in his claims of innocence and now aims to take those claims to the stand. Andy Xue and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
The world is reacting to the sentencing of 45 pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong charged with political crimes under the city's national security law. As Chris Goran reports, leaders and activists from Taiwan and across the world have condemned the decision by Hong Kong's courts.
A mother reacts to news that her son's been sentenced for political crimes in Hong Kong. He's one of a group of convicted pro-democracy activists known as the Hong Kong 47, all but 2 of whom were given 4 to 10 years in prison. Here in Taipei, exiled Hong Kongers gathered to condemn the decisions. They say it's a devastating blow to the Hong Kong democracy movement.
大家不去捍衛這一個自由民主的說話，有可能就真的明天就會變成好像香港一樣，沒有辦法開一個這樣的記者會。
The sentencing further solidify the fear amongst the citizens of Hong Kong, and I think the Chinese Communist Party are very happy about that.
The Hong Kong activists were charged under a national security law imposed by Beijing that criminalizes a wide range of political activities. The crimes in this case related to an unofficial primary election to choose candidates for the territory's 2020 election. It's not only Hong Kongers living abroad that have condemned the sentencing of the 45 activists. Statements from the United Nations Human Rights Office to leaders from around the world have all raised concerns about the decision. Taiwan's presidential office has also condemned the sentencing, saying democracy is no crime, and citing the case as proof that the one country, two systems model proposed for both Hong Kong and Taiwan is not viable. The U.S. has also slammed what it calls the unjust sentencing and said it was imposing new visa restrictions on Hong Kong officials. And international organizations have weighed in as well.
We are gravely concerned by the use of these security laws and the breadth to criminalise conduct protected by human rights to freedom of expression, peaceful assembly and association.
Officials from both Hong Kong and China have defended the sentences, saying they protect national security. Despite the outcome, pro-democracy activists say they're standing strong.
其实这个民主运动并没有放弃，因为只要我们内心不放弃的话，其实还是会有的。包括可能在判刑当中，我们也知道很多人选择不认罪，所以这种不认罪其实也是一种抵抗的方式。
Showing that the sentences, though a blow to the movement, may not be its end. Hank Xu and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Music is the language of the soul. Sometimes it may be a foreign language, but that didn't stop one Japanese musician from pursuing his passion deep into the German Alps. Jonathan Kaplan has the story.
Meet Takeo Ishii. He's 77 years old, was born in Tokyo, and found his calling, literally, as a professional yodeler in Germany. He's made his home at the foot of the Bavarian Alps, where locals call him der japanische Yodeler, the Japanese yodeler.
Jodeln machen Menschen glücklich und dann, wenn ich jodele, selber bin ich glücklich. Und dann Freude, und dann, wenn man Stress hat und dann jodelt man und dann der Stress geht weg und dann zum Lachen gibt's, ne? Und Jodel ist auch gesund.
It's been a unique career. Ishii originally moved to Europe to study mechanical engineering, but soon found a path that stretched back to his childhood.
Ja, dann in Japan habe ich mit meiner Mutter ins Kino gegangen und dann im Kino habe ich gesehen viele deutsche Filme oder Schweizer Filme und der Berg, der Natur und der Hintergrundmusik war oft so Zittermusik, Alpenbrasen, Alpenmusik und dann Jodeln. Und dann beim Jodeln fasziniert.
Yodeling for Ishii began as a hobby during his studies in Europe. But one night, after a few beers with a friend at a bar in Zurich, he showed off his skills. On the spot, the bar owner offered him a room and a regular gig. Ishii has made records going back to 1978, but he has since ventured into social media. He's now building an audience on TikTok, and a collaboration with the Gregory brothers, a comedy kung fu pastiche called Chicken Attack, has millions of views on YouTube. Ishii sees a bright future for yodeling.
Ich habe gedacht, der Jodeln kann man auch modernisieren, wie modern. Das ist auch die Jodeltechnik wirklich beherrscht. Dann kann man alle Richtungen zum Jodeln daran mischen. Und zum Beispiel mit Heavy Metal so, und so irgendwie. Und das habe ich auch schon gemacht und mein Titel war Chicken Attack.
Indeed, Ishii toured with Taiwanese metal band Thonic, contributing his signature vocals. He keeps a Japanese tea house at his home in Bavaria, where he lives with his German wife Henriette, with whom he has 5 children. Ishii's been yodeling for over 50 years, and he has no plans to stop.
Ich weiß nicht, wie älteste Jodeler auf der Welt gibt. Ich werde vielleicht der älteste Jodeler der Welt. So und so weit ich weiter, bis meine Stimme nicht mehr geht.
Until then, if you happen to be in the alpine resort town of Reit im Winkel on the German-Austrian border, you might be lucky enough to hear the voice of the japanische Yodeler resounding in the hills. Justin Wu and Jonathan Kaplan for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, take a look at some of the works from this exhibition, focused on the concept of beauty, on display at the Louvre in Paris. I'm Yvonne. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, please visit us at TaiwanPlus.com.